In our name.
I love being in Algira. I'm really looking forward to talking with you and sharing some of my art with you this evening. So I make revolutionary art to propel history forward. I make revolutionary art to propel history forward. I work in a lot of different media. Some of it's photography, some of it's installation, some of it's performance, some of it's painting. But the question is, what sort of unites it? What makes a Dred Scott work a Dred Scott work? And as I said, it is revolutionary art to propel history forward. But as part of that mission, I like to tell people I like to try and illuminate this era. But then the question is, what is this era? So I have some questions for you. So the first one is, do you guys have hope for the future? Yes, emphatic hope for the future. Okay, next question. Do you think that having 1 in 9 young black men in prison is acceptable?
No.
Do you think that a society where 1 in 4 women will be battered during her lifetime is a model society to uphold?
No.
Does it make you comfortable that the US government is spying on all email, websites, and phone calls that everybody on the planet makes? Do you think that this government lies to you?
Yes.
Okay. This is a fun test, okay? So for those of you who started out saying, hey, we got hope for the future, the present isn't looking so good. Okay. So why do I go into this? Well, part of it is that I actually do have hope for the future. And that hope, though, is based on the fact that I think people can confront this very horrific reality which we're living through and look at this present squarely in the eyes and actually come up with plans and programs to radically change it. We don't have to live with that polarization. We don't actually have to live like this. People can make revolution and make a radically different world and change themselves and transform themselves in the process of doing that. But we really do need revolution to get to this different world. And my art is actually about helping to stimulate intellectual ferment and discourse and dialogue about bringing that world into being. So this is an artwork I did when I was an undergraduate in art school. I was 24 years old, and I made a work called What is the Proper Way to Display a US Flag? There was text on the photo montage that asked the question, what is the proper way to display a US flag? Below that photo montage were books on a shelf that were originally blank, that people could write the responses to that question. And below that was a 3x5 foot flag that people had the option of standing on. This was a demonstration of 2,500 reactionary veterans, mostly from World War II and the Korean War, and they were almost exclusively white. And they chanted things like, the flag and the artist, hang them both high, bringing back images of lynching. And it got to the point where George Bush, Herbert Walker Bush, called the work disgraceful. The Senate outlawed the work. The Senate on Thursday voted 97-0 to outlaw displaying the flag of the United States on the floor or ground and denounced a flag exhibit on the floor of the School of the Art Institute of Chicago. This is me burning flags on the steps of the Capitol. This is not an artwork. This is political protest. This went to the Supreme Court, and it became United States of America versus Sean Eichmann et al. I'm part of et al. But because of that, you guys can do whatever you want with the flag. You can put it on a pole. You can wear it on a flag lapel pin. You can make art with it. You can blow your nose in it. This is a piece that was inspired by Ai Weiwei. Ai is a really great Chinese dissident artist, a really radical artist, who, because the Chinese government basically put him in prison and wouldn't let him leave the country because of his art and because of how popular he was. But this is an early work of his called Dropping a Han Dynasty Urn, and you can see he's got a Han Dynasty urn. Here it is almost on the ground, and here it is smashed. And what he said is that, look, we need to be willing to transform the past and in some cases destroy it in order to move forward. People go on and on about how, the Constitution grants us freedom. Well, first of all, read the document. But most fundamentally, it is a document that was written by slave owners and friends of slave owners to define the political and legal structure for a society whose economy is rooted in slavery. I made this work because I really want people to question, to rethink what they talk about when they talk about freedom. This is a project called Stop. Stop was a collaborative project that I did with an artist in Liverpool, England. And she approached me because the now current, but then at the time former police chief, William Bratton, went and met with his counterpart in Liverpool, and they strengthened their ideas of zero tolerance policing, broken windows policing, which also led to a lot of stop and frisk, and in England, stop and search.
Get stopped by the cops every day, but 150s, that about sums it up.
Stopped about 60 times or more.
I've been stopped 70 times.
I've been stopped and searched more than 100 times.
I've been stopped a lot of times, 150.
30 times or more.
I've been stopped about
20
times, 60
I've been
times or
stopped and
more.
searched more than
Been stopped
100
by the
times.
police 30 times or more.
Money to burn, money to burn, money to burn, money to burn. Does anybody have any money to burn? Does anybody have any money to burn?
Oh, that really went off.
Money to burn. Money to burn. Money to burn.
Good, got ID on you? Can I see it, please? As far as I'm concerned, you're being disorderly right now.
Being
so,
disorderly?
yes.
Well, if you need me to stop, I can stop. No
Well,
problem.
yeah, as far as I'm concerned, yes, there is. Can I see your identification, please?
You ever been arrested before? Disorderly conduct?
Nope. Look up when I've been arrested.
No, I'm just asking you. I'm asking you the courtesy. I'm not arresting you. I'm just asking.
Well, am I did that first?
Well, not yet. Have you have any
Back up.
summonses or anything like that?
Back up, bro.
Alright, so
I have a return date for August 19th. You gotta go to court. It's on the sun, 346 Broadway. Go there, there will be a warrant for your arrest. Hopefully you can find some better ways to use your money, right?
Money to burn. Money to burn. Money to burn. Money to burn. Money to burn.
In our name.